So almost a year ago today, I first heard of a guy called Robert. He introduced himself as a graphics designer and he had diabetes. Now, he wanted to create an app to help manage his diabetes. And he's got all the ideas and the ambitions and the passion, which is very important when you want to create something. But he's not a software developer. So me being me, I've tried to help along the way as much as I can. I've tried to help with suggesting, how I'd make certain things and how I'd go about making the UI. But it's been almost a year now and progression's very slow. So I figured I'd step in and help with this. And really, I want to take this on myself and create the entire application. So I've taken a fairly big decision in my career. The first 18 months of YouTube taught me, from feedback from yourselves, that I'm obviously good at teaching. I'm good at what I do. I'm good at explaining situations, and I'm good at the real world side of coding. I'm not one to say you follow A, B, C, D, and here's all the explanations of why these words mean these things. I'm more about, here's a problem, here's how we make it, and you follow me making it as a software developer. It's just that simple. But I explain as I'm going what things are. You've obviously, I presume most people watching this will have seen the previous series, my first 18 months on YouTube, my trial, if you will. That now has to come to an end for many reasons, business reasons, and I want to start afresh. So as stated, I'll be making the entire thing from start to finish, and I want to be doing this daily, every single day. This is what I want to do and create. The project, rough spec'd out, at cost well over £100,000. Obviously, I'm going to be doing all this for free. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be for anybody to see. Fully open source, so you can all see the code being made. It'll get published. We'll have Android apps, iOS apps, watch apps, desktop for Mac, Linux, and Windows, back-end servers, front-end websites. We'll have the entire product. You'll see me using all the tools I need to use, all the languages, all the frameworks, publishing to certain sites, handling effectively a free project, how I'm going to cope with that, what we're going to do for hosting. Now I'm going to rely basically entirely on, hopefully, people funding this, who can afford to fund it, £1 a month, £5 a month, a single donation here and there. And I'm going to see if I can afford to make this entire thing completely for free, and get it out there for the world to use. I'm going to work closely with Robert, who's the ideas guy, if you will. He's come up with the idea. He's got diabetes himself. He's got the passion. He can certainly do the graphics, and really make this a very open and feedback-driven course. I'm hoping this will teach everybody everything you need to know about real world in the modern age. I'm going to use all the very latest tools, .NET Core 3. We'll go into mobile apps, which might be by the time we get there, Xamarin. It might be something that Microsoft have released by then. We'll see how that goes. We'll be using cross-platform desktop apps. We'll use watch apps, so we'll use probably Wear OS and the Samsung and the Apple Watch apps. So you're going to get a huge wealth of knowledge across a broad area, and this is, like I say, what I want to do daily, so I'm going to rely entirely on your support. To supplement that, what I may do is make my own courses for people that follow this course but are missing certain fundamentals. So in order to do this project, I'm going to do it as me. So I have the knowledge I have, and I'm going to explain as I'm going what I'm doing, but you may be missing fundamental steps before that if you've not used certain technologies. So I'd potentially like to also do more conventional tutorials, if you will, on, say, the C# language, .NET Core 3 language, ASP.NET Core. Certain topics that aren't project driven, they're entirely language driven. It's, here's the language, here's how you use it, and here's what it's good for, alongside this kind of course. But again, it's all going to be based on feedback from yourselves. So to get going, let me read the first email that I received almost a year ago. And then the follow-up video from this is going to be the first conversation that I have with Robert over Skype to really engage with this project. And you'll see from that how I start this entire big project. So I want you to see the entire thing, not just the software development side. This is from also a business side. So you want to, engage with a client, price the job up, what question to ask, why I'm asking them, to really gauge and spec out this project before we get moving. So there's a bit of pre-work before we get straight into code. So the first step to that, I'll read you this email, and then I'll also show you some screenshots from it, and you'll get a thought for where this project is going. So let me just pull up the first email. So the email basically starts by firstly thanking me for what I do, which is the YouTube side of things. And Robert introduced himself as I mentioned, I'm a graphics designer and a diabetic. I design visual user interfaces for type 1 diabetes. It will be an API app for insulin pumps, continuous glucose measurement devices, exercise monitors, etc. It looks like I will not learn to code myself. I would try to hire developers. Maybe it will be possible to get some guidance from you. I'm willing to pay whatever you charge, etc. And this is where it all started. We have some UI here that you can see. This is the initial idea in the visual. So I obviously assisted as much as I could. I give some advice on how you create certain UIs. But as a whole, this is a very big project. So the important thing to see here is I don't necessarily know all about diabetes. I know quite a bit about it, but in terms of the details I'd need to know to construct an application and to handle all the levels and to get involved, really, as a developer and as somebody speccing out this project, I need to also learn about diabetes more specifically. Then again, if I work directly with the client on this, this is where that knowledge will be vital, because luckily the person that wants to make this application also has diabetes. So it's going to be very easy to ask the questions, get the answers, and familiarize myself with it. But I certainly can't sit back and just ask, right, where do you want this UI? What color do you want this? Where do you want these values? You really need to live that life. You need to put your feet in the shoes, if you will, of a person with diabetes and try to understand. So it may mean, meeting up as well and going to some conventions, or really getting heavily involved with this to make the best product we can. So all that will be part of this series as well. We'll really, get going on this, and I hope you all will learn a lot from this, and we also end up with a really good application that's usable at the end of this. So with that said, I'm going to now jump on a call with Robert and get the first engagement and start speccing out this project. It's going to be a really exciting and fun project to do. We're going to do a lot of graphics. We're going to do charts and shapes and animations, colors, and luckily we have a graphics designer. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this new series. And don't forget to comment in the video. I do reply to all comments that I receive. So it's a very engaging series. I'd like to, get more feedback this time on this series, more interaction and communication, or jump on the Discord channel. I'll leave a link in the description. And again, hopefully support me through this new project, and I'll see you in the next one.